Well, we're back with another video, and we've got something really special lined up here. We've got a complete new way of looking and tracking at progress for users in a specific community through the various different activities on the app. So when you log into the community dashboard, whether it's the complete dashboard or whether it's a specific client dashboard, this is the complete dashboard. On the side, you'll see a tab that says Manage Users. If you click on that tab, you'll be taken through to this table of results here for users, which effectively provides you with a breakdown of all of the user's main activities across the app. So, Ralph, do you want to take us through this table and what this provides us with?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've focused on emotions, and there's some really, really key metrics in terms of the number of all-time emotions logged. And we zoom in a little bit on your home planet. So what is that most logged emotion? And then we also move into your center of gravity. So just where on the four quadrants are you concentrated in terms of your logging? So just with those three stats, we can start to see some really interesting information coming out. So obviously, who's logging the most? Having a conversation with these people about what their home planet is. This information will be clear to them. This is really the only emotion that we are really sharing. Everything else is anonymous, but obviously we are giving some key information here. And so then looking at the number of unique emotions logged, there's a real sense of where people are in terms of their emotional literacy, how much is left for them to explore. So the big part of this data set is all about motivating people to log more emotions, motivating people to be clearer about what their home planet is, or be clearer about what their center of gravity is. And so that starts with awareness. And this dashboard is going to empower the end user, but also the coach as guide to have those kind of conversations and really drive the awareness. So I think so. That's covered the emotions. What else have we got next there, Jack?
So yes, that's a great snapshot. But if you take a look at the last column here, this is where you can really drill down into the specific activities on the app. And we've mirrored the same icons you see on the app. So we have the rockets here, which represent the missions. And we're using Ralph as a case study here. A bit disappointing that he hasn't completed the whole 12 mission journey. But
that's not true. I'm already on my 10th attempt of each one. So
okay,
I
there we
have
go.
proven that the reset button works.
Okay, yeah. So what you can see here is for the 12 missions, you can see whether a user has started the mission, and you'll see that by just whether there's an in progress tab here. And then through each of the days within each mission, you'll see a little progress rate for those days, which mirrors what you get within the app. And so if we look at the team journey on mobile stuff, where we're prompting people to go into each of these missions periodically, this is a great way of drilling down into the detail, who's done the missions and where they currently are at ahead of an event. So that's a great tool. And as Ralph says, if they do another attempt of the mission and reset their mission progress, this will start all over again. So that's the missions then. If you click the brain button, this is the practices part. Now, it looks a little bit underwhelming. We will add a few more things in here, but this will give you your basic coherence statistics. So you'll be able to see number of coherence practices done, the total time that you've spent within the biocoherence practice in seconds, and then your average coherence score. And when we start introducing the HRV and energy audit part into the app, Ralph, this is really going to come alive, I think.
Yeah, so there'll be lots of interesting insight related to coherence, and I think this is really just the start. So why don't you go ahead and click on that newsletter, because that's really something that
Yeah, I will do, Ralph. I've just got one more thing to look at. The collection icon, the book, which gives you the breakdown, a bit like, you remember going back to school and you did all your tests and you got marked, and the teacher said, oh, you need to redo that one, or that was a great assessment you've just done. This effectively gives you the breakdown of all of the ESQ assessments across the app. It gives you the total number of attempts for each assessment, the last score you received, and the color coding there corresponds to the scoring within the app: low, average, high. And then the score trend will effectively effectively tell you how your last attempt matches up to your previous attempt. And then if you've done the assessments multiple times, like Ralph has done, you'll be able to see this color-coded chart of all of the assessment attempts that you have done. So this is a fantastic tool, but as Ralph says, how will the client make use of all of this? Well, we've created an automated PDF for each individual user, which effectively pulls, Ralph, all of that data into this report.
That looks fantastic. So this really sets out the different areas quite well. So some key insights around the emotions. So you can see 545 emotions logged, and then going into the missions. So you can see with all of this, it's really starting to line us up for some leaderboards. We think that seeing this data will help people, will motivate them really to push hard and complete. So seeing stuff that's in progress, it obviously creates that level of awareness, and so we think it will start to drive faster completions. And obviously expanding then on this ESQ stuff. So I think making the ESQ results really visible, but at the highest level. So thinking about how many times you've done it. So that noticing assessment, I've done 70 times, obviously doing a lot of testing on that, but there's some really fascinating data. So actually seeing the trend of, even in my own evolution of noticing, sometimes I feel like I'm increasing, and sometimes I feel like I'm holding. If I'm sick, especially, I really notice that all of those capabilities go down. So it's not even that you're always on top. And so even with 70 completions, there's a really fascinating data set that starts to manifest. And I think this makes it so much more accessible. And of course, this is just the raw data. So we're only getting started on this. We're really trying to make the information accessible, at scale to the individuals. And we think this is going to be a key tool in helping people to understand what work they're putting in, the effort that they've achieved, what's left to get them across the line, to actually get them to complete something. And we think all of that is going to lead to more consistent practice and a much stronger integration of the skills. And really, I think, the evolution for this report is very exciting, because this is where we will deliver the insights based on the dimensions of well-being that we've covered in the app. Each one of them will have their own metrics and KPIs associated with it. So this is the report where all of that's going to come to bear. This is version 1. We built this in a day. Imagine what we can do with a bit more time. So I think with that, we'll definitely be looking forward to some feedback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is literally hot off the press, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we're going to use this going forward to try and just mobilize people to use the app more and more. And if you think about combining this with some of the automated mailing campaigns we're doing, this is going to be an incredible tool that is going to evolve and grow and be incredibly insightful going forward. So we look forward to you all testing this out, and as Ralph said, giving us feedback, good or bad.